Hello, this is David Paul here, and this is a very difficult video to make because I'm trying not to upset anyone. But I wanted to make this video because I want to be on one side of the argument or the other, and I want to say at this moment where I stand and stuff, and I don't want to be a Johnny come lately if things work out well. But it's around about 8 o'clock at night over here in the UK, and I'm preparing to watch the whole of the coverage of the American election. And I've got some beers, and I'm gonna sit there. And I'm not into sport apart from ice hockey, which I love. And to me, this is going to be like the ball game of the century, which is the way you would probably see it. But I wanted to talk about your two people and to Americans, my American friends, and anyone who ever watches this video, of which there are very few who watch my channel, and it probably doesn't matter. But I want to be on one side of the fence or the other. I'm not going to sit on the fence any longer. I'm a retired teacher, and I can say what I like now because I'm not dependent on getting employment from people, although I would like to continue doing a little bit more teaching. But I doubt I'm ever going to get a job again after this. And what this concerns is your President Trump. And if you're listening to this, Mr. Trump, sir, I hope you take this in, and I hope it cheers you up. We're at the stage now where we don't really know who's going to win, and I'm praying that Donald Trump will win this second term in this election in 2020. And a long while back, I was in the Philippines, and it was about 4 years back, and I was talking to some American friends, and I was saying, I don't know about this Donald Trump. I don't know if he's any good or whatever. And they said, well, he's making the right sounds I want to hear. And I knew about Donald Trump because I had read his book, The Art of the Deal. And I thought he was a good contender for the job. I read the book, and it contained a sort of formula. Everybody's got these success formulas and things. But that one really seemed to speak to me, as if you follow the methodology of that book, you would be successful at what you were trying to do. And that didn't necessarily mean just making money. You might want to be a successful teacher like me. Whether I'm successful or not is a different matter, but you might want to succeed and become a teacher or do something. But you could apply this book. And very, very few people who criticize Donald Trump have ever read that book. And if you read it, it would give you a tremendous insight into the way the man thinks. But anyway, time went on, and I started to come round to the idea of him as a president. But it seemed to me that the world was going to hell in a handcart. It was dreadful. Economic recession. The United States was under Obama, it was becoming depleted. It was becoming poorer. And I was watching I've got a particular empathy for Americans, which I will explain in a later video because I want to do something about this. But it seemed that this great nation was being brought down to its knees by its politicians. And I was watching people living under bridges on YouTube. I'd see them living under bridges. And they were staying in Walmart parks. And that really changed my opinion of Walmart, because I thought that was a tremendous Christian sort of thing to do. It's a really caring kind of thing. And you can be cynical about it. You can say, oh, well, it was just a promotion thing. But they allowed people in the trailer homes to stay in the car parks during this period when people were being made homeless. And that was Walmart. So the Asda Corporation over here in the UK, that's just basically a branch of Walmart now. And I like to buy things off them because I like to support this marvellous company. So there's a little plug for Walmart. But anyway, the things are going down and down and down and down. And I thought, well, you know, I was a tremendous fan of Ronald Reagan. They were great times. They were great times. And I lived through that, and I watched Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, and I watched what Ronald Reagan did in turning back communism, which I despise communism. I despise communism and socialism. It's unchristian, and it's the road to hell. So I thought at the time, well, there's never going to be anybody like Reagan ever again. That was it. You know, nobody's ever going to be as good as that. We've had it. You know, we're screwed. And then I watched TV and I saw this guy come down the elevator, stand in front of the golden doors and announce that he was going to stand. Donald J. Trump. And I watched the campaign, and I watched the exuberance, and I watched the sort of bullish determination, and I watched the way he just would not give up. And as Nigel Farage has said, since that he's the bravest man that he's ever met. And I would agree with that. I would think he's a brave person. And his policy started to be efficacious for the United States. America got better, and the economy was roaring. And it seemed to me that you have to secure your borders, otherwise you're going to let in. There has to be a methodology of coming into a country. There is an entity. We all have this entity called our country, and surely you would, if you want to keep countries, then you have to have borders, you have to have structure, you have to have law, and you have to enforce those laws, and you have to protect yourself from there's a good expression in America, you've got to protect yourself from the ne'er-do-wells, people who never did anything good in life. And the particular ne'er-do-wells that were a problem on that border were drug dealers, people traffickers, and MS-13 gangs. So it seemed to me that would be a good thing to secure that border, and the Democrats fought them all the way. Anyway, time went on, and it got better and better and better. And then coronavirus came along and scuppered it. But I thought, this guy's doing good, but what do I think about the actual character of the person? Does it matter if the person does it matter if a person, about the character of the person, or does it just matter what they do, what they achieve? And I think it does matter, because I think if you come from a good spirit in what you're trying to do, then you'll be better, and you'll be, as a Christian, I would say, you'd be informed by God. Your actions will be informed by God, and the world wherever Christianity has put its footprint has bloomed. So there was a one, I think it was, yes, it was the State of the Union address, and I saw him talking about the subject of abortion, and I could see you know, it's a contentious issue in America at the minute about late-term abortions and so on. And I could see that he cared. And I decided at that moment something particular about him that he shared with Ronald Reagan. And I'm going to leave you with this, and this is my opinion of your president, and this is the spirit, the spirit behind the person, the motivation, and the way he just is. And you have to check it out in careful detail, because, you know, we can argue till the cows come home about this. But I think that your president, you, Mr. Trump, sir, your president is good to the bone. And I'm going to leave it at that.